Yo. What's up? It's regular Reg in the building.
Talk your shit. What's up? What's good? What's going on?
Nah, man, I'm chilling.
Right.
That yurt felt a little,
You was a little off, but I didn't want to say that.
The yurt went.
You need some water?
It zigged when it should have zagged. I don't know. The yurt wasn't the normal yurt.
Yeah.
You know when you're talking and your voice crack? I'm sorry, guys. I will give y'all a better yurt next time.
You want to try to redo that?
I'm not re-yurting. Yurt. All right, see, I'm off, man. Nah, I surprisingly, I'm good. So
that's good.
Maybe that yurt, the normal yurt, is negative energy, and this is positive energy. And maybe this is a better yurt. Maybe this is the new yurt.
Positive Reg.
You know?
That's what I said.
Yo, you know what they try and call me good guy Reg at work?
Oh, word?
Yeah, because they being funny because I'm not a good guy. My coworkers are dicks. They were like, good guy Reg. How was your day, man? How you doing?
Nah, my day's been super productive. Had a couple productive meetings at work today.
Okay.
I'm trying to sell off some shit, man. Like, this whole quarantine, just being at home, I'm just looking at everything I have like, yo, do I really need this anymore? And
Bro.
I'm just out here putting shit on Facebook Market, just trying to get it off my hands.
I started realizing my Vans and my Stan Smiths, smoked or not, I wear those the most.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's a choice because sometimes with a lot of outfits, fashionably, they work better for me.
I feel like most people got like that go-to
thing. Like, you know what I mean? I got Yeezys, I got Fear of Gods, I got all that shit. And I'm gonna look at all those and go, where my smoked ass Vans at?
I'm not gonna lie, I'll be rocking my Yeezys, like, but it's comfortable.
No,
I gotta
that's
be on
the
my
thing about
feet all
Yeezys.
day.
Yeah.
I got water and I'm wearing those.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, man, I had a good day. I had productive, but just work productive. I wasn't able to sell nothing. I actually got to go shopping. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you.
Yeah.
Like, I've been recycling shit for a minute now because I knew I was gonna go back to school. You know what I mean? I got my kids, so I knew I was gonna have to take some L's. But I'm letting y'all know, Instagram, you gonna see me again.
Yeah. I was telling myself I might get back on that next
Y'all gonna
year.
see me again. I'm coming back. I'm coming back strong. Watch yourself.
It's been gotta
Listen,
get back
man,
out here, man.
I got some fits ready, son. I got some fit.
Nah, I was saying I was gonna get back on that because I'm shopping for 2020.
That's the thing. That's true.
Like.
But my thing is, I'm about to shop for 2022. Feel me? Like, and I want and it's this. I like shopping. Not I like shopping. I'm lying. I like dressing. Like, I like to dress up. I like to look nice. I like to dress a certain way. But I realize what I don't like is shopping. Really,
I actually don't mind shopping, but I like shopping alone. Like, cause I know how I shop. I'm in and out of a store. I know what I'm looking for. If it's not there, survey the area. I'm going if nothing's there.
Even when I don't know what I'm looking for specifically, like a lot of times I go in with an outfit in mind. Like, I know what I'm trying to look like, and I find some variation of it. But sometimes I go in with no outfit, but I look, and it's like it's got to scream. There's got to be something that I'm just like, I'm gonna wear that shit.
And then there's certain like stores I'm like, I just got to see what they got in there right
now,
man, I just always fuck with it. So I actually like shopping. I just don't like shopping with other people because you might have me in a store for like way longer than I'm trying to go.
I don't.
Yeah.
Well, you know, my thing is I worked in retail for a long time. And when you work in retail, shopping is like the last thing you ever want to do when you shop with other people. So it's like that's just the way. Like, if you want to see somebody that never wants to shop, find a fucking stylist.
I actually just ordered some Stan Smiths today. One thing I realized is I hate online shopping. That's probably why I do not shop right now. Is because everything is online. I hate online shopping. I don't know my size and nothing. Like, it's gonna end up being returned at some point.
Nigga, you are too old not to know your draw size, nigga. Like,
nothing. I'm about how does it look. How does it look on you?
No, how does it fit? No. See, that's the thing. It's not that you're right.
And if I order it and it don't fit, I'm not returning it. I don't even know how to return something I ordered online.
You're an idiot.
How do you return shit?
You're an idiot, Obi. There's a fucking sender backer thing.
That shit just gonna sit on my bed.
That's usually what happens. I got a pair of pants right now. Just
I ask people that all the time, like, where you order online, how often do you return what you didn't really fuck with like that?
Well, I'm sure they count on that.
People always like, I never returned it.
I'm sure.
Like, yeah, I'm good.
Those companies that have like terrible clothes online terrible clothes,
Yeah,
but they
yeah.
look good, and then when you get sent to you, they know you're not gonna like it. They
Making a-
also know a lot of them not
Making
sending
a
it back.
killing. Oh
Exactly.
yeah.
They
yeah.
know you're not sending it back, so that's why they play that
So
card.
that's why I'm not really into like the online shopping. Like some kicks I could do easily.
Yeah. You know why? That's why Nordstrom. So that's why Nordstrom had such a open door policy because they realized that when people are buying in bulk, they'll instead of buying like 5, if they know you'll take anything they return, they'll buy 12.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, "Oh, I'll just
And then
return some of them,"
they
and
never
never
end up
return it.
returning it, yeah.
So, like Nordstrom actually, there was a mindset behind it that ended up working.
See, you gotta be a little bit more self-conscious. I know that I'm not gonna return it, so I don't do it.
Nah,
I'm not gonna lie to myself the whole time. Like, yeah, I'm gonna return it. That's a full-blown lie. I'm not doing that.
He'll be sitting there like, "I'm returning tomorrow."
Nah.
Rubs belly.
I did that. I've done that a few times, and then with shit I bought in the store, I'm like, yo, I did not remember to bring it with me. I just don't ever remember to return things like that. So
I mean,
I just take my L.
Nah, I take my L. I normally just take my L. But speaking of L's, bro, your boy Bobby Shmurda.
Yeah, man.
What happened, man? What happened to the shmoney?
Shit that happens with people that's locked up that decide not to snitch.
Oh,
I mean, that's usually what happens.
So you think they were just like, he didn't snitch, keep him in there?
You do your time.
I mean, I don't. So what do you think? Do you think people? I don't understand people that say things like "free Bobby."
Nah, come on. That's a full blown like emotion. When it comes to, especially when it comes to like artists or people you love, it's never gonna be like an actual like
Throw it out.
logical.
Okay.
I seen a girl once bash Beyonce on Facebook about how like she's the most like
Toxic.
worst person for like all black people, and then the next week, Shorty was talking about free Vibes Cartel. I'm like, nigga, what?
There were 2 dead bodies found on his property. 2.
I'm like, yo, I know you fuck with this guy,
Listen,
but come on, my nigga.
One of them is metaphorically.
Nah, I had
bad
to
for
DM
people.
that person, so I'm like, so you got a beef with Beyonce,
But
Vibes Cartel is who you like. Yeah, let's free him.
Listen. Keep that psychopath away from me, dog. I want no smoke with someone that's saying free Vibes Cartel.
Yo, and I'm not even the biggest Beyonce, but I was like, so you got beef with Beyonce?
But Vibes,
And Vibes
that's a
is
go.
not- yeah, nah.
That's how I feel like when I hear that Bobby Shmurda thing. I'm just like, guys, he's in there like he's not in there regularly. He's in there fighting and doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
Like and it's not. And even the fighting, I will give him because the thing is, he's in Rikers, I believe.
Yeah.
And the thing about Rikers is it's split up in between Bloods and Crips.
This nigga spent 7 years on Rikers?
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
there are people that do that. I'm pretty sure it's Rikers.
Wow.
But I don't quote guys. I don't know much about
Yeah.
prison. But from what I do know, Rikers is more of like a transitional jail. It's like where you go to before you get sent to where you're going. But a lot of times there's so many people waiting in Rikers, they end up waiting their whole sentence. So that happens. But he was doing like 7, and the thing is, in Rikers is split between Bloods and Crips, and there's like 10-1 Bloods. So like, of course, the Crips are gonna be fighting a lot when they do go to social time. When they do go to, they're gonna have to squabble. But then they also caught him with a shank, and then they also caught him with
Weapon,
drugs. Like, listen, man, I'm all for a real one from the street, but you still from the street.
Yeah, and
Like,
I
so-
mean, if they have a legitimate reason to keep you there, I mean, what do I know?
Like, you know what I mean? If they
At
say,
that point, you tell me, hey, person broke the rules. That's what we have. They broke the rules.
Exactly. I just don't understand people saying free. Like, I understand, like, if you say, like, you know, we love Bobby or whatever, but
Or if you have like some actual like inside information of like
where
things that happened, but
where they're like tormenting him or some
if
shit.
you just getting the same information the rest of us are getting,
What? Why?
yeah, nah.
Why?
But you know, hopefully he keeps his head up and
He got 1 year. You got 1 year. You did 6, bro.
he's
You did
done it.
6. And you know what? All of Brooklyn done been taken out.
we're
6ix9ine took himself out and mad other people. You know what I mean?
6ix9ine, I see him back out here. He, after the little horrible sales, he's been humbled. And his little thing with what did he overdose on again?
Caffeine pills.
Caffeine pills?
Caffeine
Yeah,
pills.
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
it was. Yeah.
I see him out here again.
Okay. Oh, you mean when he's getting the tat?
he was like on a camera shouting somebody out. His hair is like black again and shit.
Oh, he gave up on it. He done.
I think it's like the tip, but he's not wearing the wig and all of that. That he be
Okay.
nigga,
Yo, that wig with the fake blue eyes, I was really upset, bro. I was really upset. He walked in looking like a
nigga had a whole lace front on.
I'm telling you, man, I'm not with it. The $10,000 I heard.
I mean,
$10,000.
I'm sure he got that.
No. Somebody got that fronted him.
Yeah.
I don't think 6ix9ine.
I think he got that.
Nah,
10 bands? He don't got 10 bands.
A lace front per lace front. There was more than one. There was like 4, and he said each one of them was 10 bands.
Homie came and flashed like 5 $1 million watches.
Those aren't his watches. Think about this. You never saw those watches before jail, and he comes out of prison, and now he has it. Like, nah, he went broke in jail. Somebody fronted him to try and get. Yeah. They thought they could push his promotion. They gave him a few watches and shit. He gonna get all that shit repoed when his sales obviously didn't do good. They didn't tank. They tanked. So my thing is, what happens like with security?
I mean, I think that's why he's like, you know what? Let me lay low a little bit out here. You gotta. He might not be able to afford that security, so let me. But you know what? Let me not speak too soon because I'm sure he'll find a reason to be out here again.
I hope not. To be honest, this sounds terrible, but I felt like Tekashi 6ix9ine needed to die. I still feel like he does.
Yeah, I mean, he just needs to go away.
No. The reason why I feel like he needs to die is to send a very secure message to the rest of these young motherfuckers thinking y'all can fake y'all way through gang shit. Yeah. Like, it sounds crazy, and it sounds really insensitive, but Tekashi need to get up out of there. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm sorry. Like, listen, gangsters, I don't really agree with y'all much. Y'all not really my cup of tea. Not because I don't like y'all, just because I'm sorry, I think that's a stupid way to live for the most part. But fine, whatever's yours is yours. But y'all got to stand on y'all too and make sure this man doesn't come out unscathed. He can't walk out here. He literally
and he came out of jail still
talking shit. Like, you know? He came out here, he hit y'all with the D Generation X. Suck it to every gang member this side of the Mississippi, and
my man even went to Nip's grave and everything,
like
mural,
mural. You know, doing the most. So it's like, to me, I feel like if there's anyone that needs to be made example of,
I mean,
you know what I mean. So, you know, again,
we're gonna keep watching now.
We're gonna keep watching, and like I said, I'm not wishing death upon him. I'm just saying, if I think about how many people will be saved. If you see him get the consequences,
making that mistake,
because it's just like it's gonna give people this idea that you can just do whatever you want. There's no rules, there's no lines, there's no code, and you just run off.
We gotta see where things continue going. I feel like Corona has really like messed up. If you have little to no substance these days, it's very hard to survive. You know, so with those people aren't outside like that, so how could you really get away with the shit? You got to be outside. I mean, maybe somebody could be that good of an internet troll that.
Well, to me, I just always felt like the energy of his song. That's why I thought it wasn't gonna work. Was because he can only make one type of song for real.
Yeah, and you felt that energy with everybody. When everybody's
behind you screaming and all that stuff. And actually, I had an argument today. I'm gonna jump off, but I will say that. Because of that energy at his concerts, when you used to see him perform and his songs would go off, like, I'm like, I could understand why somebody could fall for this facade. Mm-hmm. Like, that's why you thought I was a fan.
I mean,
and I was just saying I like the music.
It's not. Nobody has an issue with the actual music. It's the part where you're not being mindful of like everything around going on outside of that.
Well, I think because everybody hated who he was, they can't disassociate the music from who he was. Yeah. And I think that's the thing. Is like, I'm not saying it's good music. It's not Mozart.
I'm not talking about I'm talking about him.
Yes, and I'm saying it's not Mozart. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, for what it is for trap, it's pretty hard. The beats go hard. There's an energy to it.
And I agree with that. And I fuck with that.
Yes.
But you should not be out here like in shootouts.
Yes,
bro.
no, exactly. Of course. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people do the thing where it's like, I don't like this person, so therefore their music's whack. And I'm like,
nah.
That's not.
One has nothing to do with the other. One has nothing to do with
We are avid Drake haters. We cannot deny his discography.
I listen to Drake music. You come in my car, you might hear
probably
one or two
hear
Drake
one or two
songs.
Drake songs. Like, it's just too fire.
It's an opinion that I have of something that I see. I actually hate people that do that. That
Yeah.
just because they don't like what somebody does or what somebody did, they'll never give that person credit.
Well, I used to do some version of that in college because in college, I was a cocky little fuck. So nobody could tell me I wasn't intelligent or well spoken or cultured or I couldn't have certain conversations and very smart man. And I was to an extent. I was also a fucking dummy. But the thing was, no one could tell me I wasn't a certain level of intelligence, so certain music I wasn't allowing. Like when I heard certain Gucci Man freestyles, I was like, what is this shit? Like this is terrible. And then I remember hearing Oh Let's Do It by Waka Flocka. And I remember going, this is trash.
Yeah.
This is trash. Like
You thought that song was trash?
at first.
Oh, wow.
At first.
I'm about to say.
Nah, at first.
Fuck that song heavy.
Then I got to a party where it went off and I saw the energy in the room.
When it comes to music,
I'm like,
where is this? What is this music made for? It's
yes,
very important.
exactly. That's true.
Some music is for the car. Some music is for the crib. Some music is for the clubs. Some music is for the shower.
Exactly.
Like, believe it or not.
I gotta tell this story. I gotta tell this fucking story. Senior trip.
I was getting my shit off,
Senior-
man. I was getting my shit off.
Senior trip, high school. Me, my boy, Daveney, shouts out. We all roomed together on senior trip. And one morning, the first morning we wake up, all we hear is, and you.
That was my shit. I was watching. What was the name of that?
You're gonna love me. Obi would. First of all, y'all hear this man's voice. So imagine that man hitting something like
I got some vocals,
something
man.
like a soprano note.
I got some vocals, man.
And what's funny was he started from the beginning. It's not like the "You're Gonna Love Me" part came literally 3 minutes after.
Work your way up.
Because he really. And I am telling you.
Yeah, that there used to be my shit.
Yo, imagine me and Dave, we woke up like, what is that? I'm like, is that a grown ass nigga I know named Obi in the shower?
So you gotta wake up in the fucking morning, man.
I respected it because I'm not gonna lie, I took a very enthusiastic shower after that. I was like, let's go. My boy over here singing. But yeah, I wanted to say something to that because I had a debate with a friend of mine today where he was saying with the whole Trump thing that's going on these days, he feels like, and there's this argument that people are saying Trump just brought out racists. He brought out the existing racists. And I'm like, okay.
Brought out, he made him like bold. He put a cape behind him.
I'll give you that. But I think that I'm going to go as far as say he created some racists. In my opinion, I think Trump created a generation of young racists. I think he set us back because I think that like everything else, there's a lot of weak-minded people. Now, when I say weak, I mean easily influenced. Like, there is a lot of people that are lost just looking for something to hold on to. That's why cults are a thing.
Yeah.
That's why people don't get cults are a thing because, like, the concept of a cult is
Donald
asinine.
Trump is a cult.
Exactly.
Donald Trump gave out $1,200 checks and all these things, right? Now, most Republicans, they don't agree with that. They're like, oh, that's welfare, that's good.
Yeah.
But when he gave that, they all got excited. Oh, y'all get it. So I'm like, do y'all stand behind anything, or is it just whatever he does to like look like a win is what y'all go with?
Yeah,
like, is there any principle behind anything y'all have? Is there any like code? Is there any like we follow this?
Bro,
this is our belief.
That's the thing. For them to follow a belief, he has to have one.
Yeah.
That man believes in. I've never seen someone so brazenly give less of a shit about every single topic. Every president had something they wanted to stand on. You know what I mean? Every president, Obama was pushing the healthcare. Bush was making sure we were strong and trying to make sure our influence overseas was known. So we knew we're still a world power. You know, everybody had something. Fuck this motherfucker care about. He don't care about nothing but taking back what everything Obama did.
My nigga Donald Trump just give a fuck about being a rock star.
That's
son.
it.
That nigga is a rock star.
He will say anything. I'm not gonna lie. That man's a star.
That nigga
He's
is
a star.
a rock star.
He's a
like
star.
that. Another unbiased. Like that's an unbiased opinion. Like him or not. I was watching like this thing. Anywhere he goes, like people just go there. They're crazy. I'm like, yo, y'all niggas
That's the thing is like.
But it is very cult like.
It is. It's cult like, and it's like I feel like I was trying to tell my friend. I think that what has happened is there's a large mass of white people in America that I feel like they're not necessarily racist per se. They just don't give a shit. Like, they don't care.
It doesn't affect their day-to-day
them.
life.
Because, to be honest, there's still a lot of towns in the Midwest and the South that are all white.
Exactly. How many black people are they coming across?
They don't run into many black people to even think about that issue. It's like before I got into, you know what I mean? Like, the industry I'm in now, like, I never thought about disabled people. I never could, not to say that I hated them.
No, but that's life. A lot of things we don't know what's going on, and that that's a lot of like the politics, what it is.
Yeah.
Like, where they'll start like debating or having a certain conversation. We're like, we from New York, that really doesn't apply.
It does, exactly. And
it's be talking about fracking. I had to Google what the fuck frack was. I was like, yo, what is frack? It's like people that like the people that like work with like natural oil or something like that, like people that dig or something.
You still don't know what a fracker is.
What is a fracker?
You motherfracker. I think that I don't know.
I think it's like people that work like in the not like natural mines? Oil is fucking not natural energy, but actual oil and everything.
Oh, okay. The people that deal in like disposable, like the stuff that combustible energy and stuff like that. Digging. Okay. Well, I don't know.
I'm like, why are we talking about? This is not the majority of America.
But the thing is, if you tell people, like, because the black issue is such, like, I'd say the most long-standing issue in the United States, like, in the history of the United States. So to me, it's like, it is, to us, it is the biggest issue in the United States, in my opinion, without unbiasedly. Not because I'm black, I feel this way. Yeah. It's just the biggest issue there is.
If it's not, it's top 3.
It's exactly.
I'll definitely say that.
Listen, man, it's top 3 and it's definitely not 3.
Word.
You know what I mean?
Definitely
so it's like
not 3 at all.
Definitely not 3. So but there's a lot of people that say like, oh, that's that's not that real an issue, or they don't care just because they don't deal with it. And I'm simply saying that those people that are kind of on the fence, where it's like, I don't hate you, I just don't care about you. If you have somebody screaming something loud and proud, and you're amongst people that are going, yeah, all it takes is for a loner to feel like they're part of a community. Yeah. And that's it.
And it might not even, he might say something else that connected with you.
Exactly.
So that racist part might not be actually where you formed your connection with him. It could be something else that he stood on.
But it could be something you bypass. Yeah.
But it'll be something that you're like, I mean, that doesn't really affect me, but this affects me.
Yes, but I'm going to go further into say that, see, the reason why I don't believe that's what's happening, I think he's actually creating racists, is because the people that like Trump aren't saying the things he's saying are wrong. They just like, because the reality is what would be real, what I'd really respect is if somebody goes, he's not a good president. He don't do shit. He don't say nothing of value. I like him. Yeah. If you would have just looked at me and say that, I'd be like, yo, I gotta respect the gangster.
I think a lot of them they just like him, and what they just like that he pisses off liberals.
Yes,
that's
I agree. Oh, man.
They just love that he pisses off liberals.
Yo, when Trump called a reporter a third-rate reporter, and he said he was never gonna amount to anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, but that was my point, is that but I think even more so that because they agree with the one thing that he does talk about for them, they now won't allow themselves to say they don't agree. They agree with that so strongly, they'll agree with everything else too. Yeah. So it's not that they go, oh, that doesn't affect me. They're gonna go, well, yeah, black people did, kind of do that, and black people did, they are kind of taking our jobs, right? Like, and then before you know it, you're full blown racist.
And we see that a lot in today's world, The NBA, how they, with the current league, they did the whole Black Lives Matter. They put that on the court. They wanted to kind of focus on social justice if they were going to have the season. And there was a lot of people, at least I would see on Twitter, the NBA's racist. I'm like, nigga, what are y'all talking about? Like, they were talking about reverse racism because I'm like, so y'all just not listening. Y'all just not listening. And Donald Trump has put us in a place where people refuse to even just listen to. Well, I can't say he put us in a place like that because I can't front. The other side did it in a certain way, and I'll explain how the other side did it. They weren't as divisive as him, but political correctness sometimes, where certain people aren't allowed to like speak. Like, you're a guy, you've been in places where girls are like, you can't say something, and I'm like, I think you should allow people to say what they're saying. And of course, if it's ignorant, then we could say that's an ignorant ass comment. But you can't just tell me as this I can't speak.
No, you're right. You're right.
Things,
that's usually when I pull my dick out and put it on the table. Like, exactly. I've decided.
So the other side did kind of silence. That happens both ways. He just does it in a different way. Where it's super aggressive, and it's like, all right, bro, we got to chill out a little bit.
But my thing is, the other side, I get what you're saying, but the other side are reacting. Mm-hmm. That's why I don't count it as really. You have no choice when you're being attacked. Yeah. I don't think that's fair. Because Donald Trump was just straight saying lies about liberal media. Mm-hmm. Straight lies. So there's
I'm not talking about reacting to. I'm talking about even before him. Before him, like the whole people were being silent. Like a lot of people are silenced, especially on the right. You know, when it comes to just things that it's not really.
Well, do you think there are things you should be silent
on? Yes, but I don't think it should be extensive. I think more things we should have conversation and open conversation on, because that'll help people understand a bit. You can't just tell people, yo, because I have to tell you, okay, this is my perception of things. Okay. I can listen to you, but if I'm never allowed to talk in this conversation, I really don't give a fuck what you got to say.
That's true.
Because you've told me you don't give a fuck what I have to say.
I was just asking that. I honestly am a freedom of speech person all through. Yeah. I'm more freedom of speech because I don't care whether what you're saying is against me or for me. Mm-hmm. I feel like you have the right to say it.
Yeah. But hold up. But like in a workplace type of no freedom of speech. You know, there's boundaries to all of that stuff.
Bro, I cannot just start going, yo, white people. Where it's
and you can't be on social media talk about you want to kill all any. Well, that's wild.
That's threatening. Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation now. Now we're getting into legal matters.
But when it comes to like opinions and understanding of things or how I interpret something, we should be able to have those actual conversations.
Well, I was thinking more so racism, like blatantly racism. Like, for instance, I remember I saw a TED Talk about pedophilia that I always found it was astounding because I never thought you could make an intelligent conversation for pedophilia.
You could make an intelligent conversation.
Exactly. But I remember listening to it and I said, let me think about what they said, because what the premise was basically, if you allow these people to walk around in secret forever and never be able to have a forum where they could speak to the problems they have, because a lot of these people have issues. There's a very big correlation between traumatic issues in your life and people that become pedophiles. There's very few amount of people that just wanted kids. It doesn't always. Normally something happened to you. At least this is what the studies show. And they were saying that if they don't get the right to say, at least outright say, I like this. Remember when Kanye said on his album, which I really fucked with when he said it, when he said, I wanted to kill you today. He was like, try it. Say it out loud. He was like, I've wanted to kill myself. You know I love myself. So just say it. See how it feels. See how it feels to say the most asinine thing you could say out loud. And I remember going, I feel that to some extent. I get where he's coming from. But when they said about the pedophilia thing, they were saying they need a place to be able to speak to it so they could work through their problems. And then I thought about it. And I'm like, let me give this a fair thought. Not saying I understand pedophiles. I'm just saying, let me see, do I think that
So hold on, what is this TED Talk? What were they saying we should do for pedophiles?
They were saying that we should not silence them and say shut up and stay in a corner and never speak again. They're saying that not that they should be able to go out and do what they want to do, is that they should be able to speak about what they want to do so they can work through their issues and become better people.
They're not allowed to speak. Nigga, that's what a therapist is for. Go see one.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, but my thing is what it came off as, the reason why I ended up not agreeing with it is because it came off almost as if you're saying on public forums, this should be okay. You should be okay to say.
What that's saying is, it sounds like that person is aware and is very self-conscious of what they're doing and feel like it's wrong and may want some. That already sounds like somebody that wants some kind of help or something.
Okay.
You know,
you're saying
what about the people that are saying shit and just continue? Because I don't think I think if you go to a therapist, wouldn't they kind of provide you some kind of assistance if you?
That's what I was saying. I'm like, guys, listen, I'm not saying you shouldn't have a place where you could talk about this. I'm saying it should not be in the public realm.
We're not about to normalize.
We're not about to pedophilia. I'm sorry, no. But then on top of that,
Should they get a lot more help? Is fighting that and actually helping these people so it's not something that trickles down more.
Yeah.
Are we going to the fullest extent of fighting that? No, but nah, we should not.
We should not make it seem like socially it's okay.
Yeah, nah.
And I'm saying that's the conversation I feel about racism is that when someone says, and the problem with racism is no one's just saying I don't like black people.
Yeah.
They're saying every single thing that goes against things that black people need, want, and survive on, but then going, I don't have a problem with black people. I got a black friend.
Yeah,
They're not really saying.
Man, all that shit is bullshit.
Exactly. And that's my point. And it's like, that's why the conversation's so hard to have. But also, I feel like that's why I feel like the divisiveness definitely started with Trump. I don't think it started before Trump. I think they were reacting to a man blatantly and brazenly lying on them. And then they had to react back. And now the back and forth has become an issue. Like a lot of guys seem to think like, oh, like if a girl hits me, I hit her once and she drops. I'm like, wait, listen to me, guy. The girls they're humans, they're people. You might fight, and now when you turn it into a fight, it becomes now you're beating a woman. Yeah. It's not gonna be just one knock. Like people think that, oh, I'm gonna just say this and that's it. I'm like, no, you gotta think about if they react just as aggressively. You gotta think about that. Yeah. And I feel like it's not fair for Trump to be able to say whatever the fuck he wants to say.
Nah, you're the president.
And then exactly,
you're the president,
and reporters can't react.
And that's the thing. His people don't care because they just want to see him piss people. So it's not a fair thing,
Yeah, exactly.
Like they was complaining that he was being not treated fair in the first. I'm like, are y'all niggas serious? Like the first debate, they said he wasn't being treated.
God, he would not shut up. He would not shut up. I've never.
Go talk to his people. They'll tell you a different story.
Yo, you know what? First of all,
but yeah, man,
whiskey works like a coat. I swear.
Yeah, you seen Cube was it this weekend?
I was just about to ask that.
Yeah.
I was just about to ask, what do you think about that? Because I want to know, because we were just talking about whether people are allowed to say what they want to say. And the moment you side with Trump, for the most part, the blacks are off of you. What do you think about what Cube is saying? Because I didn't really get a good gauge. As soon as I already sided with Trump, I did what a lot of Republicans did.
What?
Get the fuck out of here. I didn't want to hear anything. Take a walk.
No.
I didn't like ride along anyway.
See, I haven't followed like Ice. I mean, I've seen him out here pretty much since the summertime started and everything kind of started being boiled up. Yeah. I've seen how he was moving. So
okay.
I'm not one of those people that felt offended by what he did. I totally understand it. There are a very large group of black people that they are not in love with either side of the parties out here.
Okay.
And they're done with having an allegiance just to one. That's kind of you fuck up your leverage when you do that. That's kind of like the mindset. You fuck up your leverage when you just say, now somebody we may have all these views of somebody that's bad and all of this, but at the end of the day, we all know one thing Donald Trump loves to do is he loves to piss his other people off. So if you could use him to slip some shit in just to piss off the motherfucker that's like, oh, he did some shit for black people. Like, you might want to just sit down and actually, because your priority is your people. Your priority is not either party. And there's a lot of people, I don't really, like, I don't view it this way, but I'm partially this way because I do feel like if Biden wins this time, there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on the left. There's going to be a lot of eyeballs on that eye. What y'all going to do for real?
Well,
you got to make up for some shit.
You got to now, I'm sorry. Black issues, I want them on the forefront.
Yeah. And he wasn't working with Trump. He reached out to both sides, and Biden's side told him, when the election is over, we could speak, and Trump's people called him in to actually have that conversation during this time, so he met with them. Okay. It wasn't like he picked these people to meet with.
Okay, see, now that, thank you. See, I didn't really do any research. I didn't really look into it. I just heard. Happened.
So I'm like,
Trump,
we got to be less emotional when it comes to these things. Business is business at the end of the day.
Well, I will, but I always will say, because I think what you're saying is, and I agree with it, is that we're not Republicans, we're not Democrats, we're black.
Yes.
And we want black problems to be put on the forefront.
Who gives a fuck?
Whoever gives it to me,
sign that piece of paper.
Sign that piece of paper, and yes. And the reason why I agree with that is because of the fact that I've never not wanted there to be racists. I mean, okay, of course I don't want there to be racists against me, against anyone really. But I've never cared, to be honest, if anyone didn't like me because I was black.
Yeah.
Just do right by me. It doesn't matter how you feel. People's feelings are so inconsequential to me.
You can't just go off of, especially with something like that. We have a part to leverage. Like you have to use what use what you can leverage with people. You can't just
and you can't. But I will say, so to play devil's advocate, Trump has said a lot of things he's going to do and then done almost none of them. So why wouldn't he naturally assume I probably shouldn't walk into this office? Because now, here's what happens. This is what happened with Steve Harvey. Even though Steve Harvey's got a little more of that sellout coon look on him. He's got them suits. We didn't forget them suits. So he's got a little more of that sellout on him because of the shows he's a part of, the way he is from what he was and stuff like that. But I will say that he did the same thing. He went in to speak with Trump in the beginning. And, of course, nothing he spoke with him got done. And then he walked out, and now his career took a hit.
With that, you could say he didn't do, or people would tell you that he actually did do some stuff, at least when it comes to black people. I don't feel like it's anything world changing, but he did do some things where you got to, I'm not going to take what you've done from you, just
Fair.
like I'm not going to.
So you think, go ahead.
So when it comes, Steve Harvey is a little different. Steve Harvey, Kanye, all of that is a little different because that was, at that point, he hadn't been president yet. So I could understand being more emotional then, because you don't know what this man is going to do.
That's true.
So I could understand the emotional factor. But right now, we in the process of actual business.
Yeah. So you think, think this is a lot more, we have a lot more leverage at this time at the negotiating table than we did at that time when we didn't have any leverage because he wasn't even president yet.
I mean, I feel like we could have used our leverage back then, definitely, to actually push a lot more things his way. And maybe he would have done it because, like I said, Donald Trump, he wasn't going to give everything. But he likes to piss off the people that, say, oh, he's not going to do this, he's not going to do that.
But I will keep it a buck with you, though. If it's one thing Donald has showed throughout his entire presidency and life, is that he sides with the money. And unfortunately, the money's not on the black side. It very rarely is, at least enough to affect the change that we need to get done.
I mean, she sides with the money, but what are we talking here? There's people that have plans where actually, if you give black people more opportunities, America will make more money. Like that, there's a whole bunch of plans that way.
Yeah, that's fair. But I think that there's a lot of companies that exist that will pay more to not have that happen. I remember when I heard Apple had a board meeting a few years back, and they said that 97.3% of the board said that they did not want black people as an upper management because the vote was voting on whether we could have higher level executives that are black, like upper management.
American history right there.
Yeah, but Apple said 97.3% of them said no. Apple's the most liberal company I've ever seen in terms of image. I can't say about it, but in terms of image, if you look at their commercials, there's always some black guy dancing down the street with colors all around him.
And another reason I feel like, not to go,
No.
I heard that. Another reason we should have, on our end, I'm not saying he was going to do anything for us, but when it comes to you actually just leveraging what you have, he had a re-election to worry about. So if we actually was coming up with all these plans, you do all that, your re-election chances with a certain group becomes a little bit better. The second term, not so much. I think in the second term, he going to try and get off whatever the fuck he wants to get off.
Okay.
Probably try to write off all his taxes that he owes.
Okay.
So
how much? He's like, oh, damn.
So on that
my way out.
He's the wrong candidate, but when it comes to the not picking sides part,
you agree with the...
We could have handled that a little bit better the first time.
And what I'm saying is, you agree with the premise of what he's doing. Do you agree with the actual deal, though? Do you agree... Well, the actual... Would you, being Cube, have walked into that office? I'm being honest. I'm
Being
asking
Ice
you
Cube?
honestly. Yes.
If I had a plan that I want, yeah, why not?
Mm.
At the end of the results, baby. I'm all about results.
Okay. Okay.
What have both of y'all done for me?
I get it, but I'll say this. The only reason why I might say no is because both of y'all may not have done anything, but one of y'all definitely went things in reverse for me. Y'all definitely went against me and made shit worse. One of y'all, both of y'all did nothing better for me.
Because you could make that argument for both.
The amount of the amount of shootings of black people has gone up over 100%.
Incarceration
has gone. Well, incarceration is always at a steady level.
But who wrote that? I mean, all I'm saying is you could come up with that argument for both sides. Donald Trump has freed people now. There's things with that, but he's done stuff like that.
So can I ask a question?
He's provided money to HBCUs,
right.
And I'm not saying that people like to compare him with like Obama and all blah blah. I'm like, bro, they was dealing with two different situations.
Yeah,
one
exactly.
walked into a fucking shit, like a piece of shit country that was. It
was a wrecked economy.
Yeah,
yes.
And one walked into a successful country.
Yes.
So what y'all could accomplish is two different things. So
and you still fucked up.
Yeah.
But this is what I will ask though. And again, I don't want to make you out to be the Trump. You know what I mean? Obi's not a Trump supporter, guys. I don't want you.
I don't care about that.
Okay, I hope people are so stupid. So I don't want
because I choose to understand something.
You over here. So I'm over here thinking and shit.
Somebody then told me that because I find Donald Trump to be the funniest nigga on the planet. So they were like, "Oh, you that's your man." I'm like, "No, I just think he's funny as hell." You saw the video of him dancing?
Yes. Yo, those dance moves.
He's the funniest nigga on the planet right now.
Second to none, bro. Second to none, those dance moves. That shit was out. And they thought it would make him look cooler. That's why they did it. They said, yo, just get on stage and
Donald Trump just in his bag right now.
Do a little dance.
He having fun whenever he on stage.
Yo, I was in the city. Well, I was walking by the city today, and I saw the what's that guy? The naked cowboy? And I just think Trump.
Yeah,
when I saw the naked cowboy, anything I could do for $1, like anything. But I was just the question I had to ask you was, so Trump has said a lot of things. A lot of people have this argument that Obama and Trump during their tenures, not much has been done for black people in both sides.
America.
Okay, fair. I would say that. I mean, obviously, my argument is going to be that Obama had a lot less to work with, was working on a lot more things. Yeah. He had to worry about the country overall because we were failing economically as a country. So he had a lot more to worry about. But if we put that all aside and we chop whatever, they'll say the excuses, right? Do you think that Trump has outwardly said things that are against black people? Like he said things against the Black Lives Matter, calling us rioters and all this craziness. And then it created groups like Proud Boys. Yeah. It's created groups that are actually doing shit to black people.
Did he create the group?
He didn't create the group, but
I think the alt-right came before Donald Trump.
No.
He made the alt-right? I think they was already there. Bruh, nah. The alt-right is like, you gotta remember, when Obama was over, there was a whole Tea Party movement that was going on. You know?
I don't want to.
There was a whole Tea Party movement that was going on.
Okay.
With the people that was always protesting. It was just anything anti-Barack Obama. And I think that over time kind of evolved in those rural areas where they just had like these beefs with him. Whatever reason that they did have. I'm not going to say Donald Trump came in stage and just created all these places, but I think he did his research and saw what was brewing up around the country.
And he
said, yo, I'm going to use this to my advantage.
Well, hold on. I think Donald Trump's team did their research. I don't think Donald Trump researched
anything. When I say
I get it.
Research,
I think, I'm going to be honest, I think Donald Trump types like this.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I think he types with two fingers. I think he's a caveman. But I will say that I always wondered who actually had... Do you not think that Trump's... Because I have this belief that Trump's actually had impact on black people negatively, whereas Obama just did nothing. And you could say he did nothing. I say When you're the first black anything, your job.
I'm not expecting you to do nothing for black people.
I'm
sorry. I'm realistic
Get
with
the
that.
fuck out of here.
Word. You got to make sure you just represent correctly.
Yo, bro,
at that point.
when your job as the first black anything is to just be good at that job.
Imagine if I became the first manager of like any place and my job, I'm just hiring black people.
Yes.
Before 2020, you would look crazy in any company. Maybe now it's a little different where like those open conversations have started happening. But before 2020, you can't just walk. You got to look there and be kind of impartial to things.
That's true.
Now, could people say they don't care? You could say that. You know, that's a fair point to say that I don't care. But it is what it is. You know,
so I question, because I had an argument with a friend of ours. And he said to me that Jackie Robinson was one of those players that played his heart out for the white leagues, and he saw it as he was opening up a lane for black people to come into the MLB. Because the black, there was a black circuit, I guess, for black baseball national team.
Leagues.
The Negro Leagues. There you go. I'm being stupid.
So you remember them hats back in the days when we was like in junior high?
I remember them, but I didn't attribute them to the Negro Leagues. I didn't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. So there was the Negro Leagues, and they were never going anywhere. They would always just have mad talent running around in a circle. Yeah. Now, this is a thing I have with like, I'm thinking about podcast promotion. I think like this too, because I would love to I would love to build up where we're from the people, and then we go up. And then, like, we build from the ground floor, and then we come up, and then we become this amazing podcast that everyone loves. And now it's the difference between the way, like, a Drake album drops in, like, Daytona, how it came from his fans, and then it reverberated. It didn't, you know what I mean? Now, I was wondering, because he said Jackie Robinson I don't know if it's on his deathbed or towards the end of his life, he said that he wrote a letter saying he wishes he had stayed in the Negro Leagues because he feels like he did black people an injustice.
For a reason.
He feels like he could have just stayed and put those numbers up in the Negro Leagues and done our own thing.
And built that league.
Instead of going to the white leagues and helping them make money. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I don't know, because
I don't know where I stand.
I don't know where financially that would still be at.
Yeah, I mean,
in the long run, 60 years later, it would probably like be a good investment, but I don't know what that would have been for the next 10, 20 years.
In my opinion, when I heard that argument, in my opinion, I was just like, to be honest, every time black people started doing good, they burned it down. Like Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street was not the first time that there was a few Black Wall Street like situations where they burnt out, bombed, destroyed, fought, shot people just because they were doing good. So it's like I can't imagine back then like Jackie Robinson doing great and them not just killing him
or just finding a way to just hold
it down. So it's like
however it was.
So it's like I don't know. It's like I don't want to say people need to sell out. I don't know if I want to have that conversation where I say people need to sell out, but it's like, do you want to be the podcast that knows, I don't know, the Joe Budden podcast or the Joe Budden Network now? Congratulations to that. I want to say that. Congratulations, Joe Budden. I'm very proud of you for that move. Good move. But the Joe Budden Network, do you want to be the friend of that? Or do you want to be common folk making it from the ground up and going doing our own thing? I would love that to be the case, but which one is actually more efficient or can actually get things done?
See, I'm not a big sellout person because a lot of the stuff you could do things with the right intention, but it just didn't work out. And of course, you're gonna think, oh, the other decision would have worked out, but that's not necessarily true because there might be other things to look at to show, the other way didn't work out, or like you said, things got burnt down and taken away from people, and they had to rebuild that. And so, I don't know, I'm not a big sellout person. And
what do you mean by big sellout person?
Like calling people, like the Ice Cube thing where people, you're canceled, you sold out because you did. Like, sometimes you got to hear what somebody's reasoning is. Like, we're not always going to agree on, like, everything. That doesn't call for cancellation or
every
you're a
5
fucking
seconds, yes.
sellout because
true.
I just see things
true.
a little bit different than you.
Yeah. And
you
then
know?
and then you heard what 50 said.
And I don't have conversations with people like that sometimes. Whenever somebody tells me, "Oh, you believe in this too much," or I'm just like, conversation over.
Well, my thing is, whenever people say certain things,
to me now you're just trying to dumb me down for the type of shit I'm talking about. So I'm just like, all right, cool, no more conversation.
I've clearly just you've deciphered that you're not trying to listen.
Yeah.
And the thing is, my thing is like I've heard that argument. It's just like, oh well, when people say certain things, when they say you don't know what you're talking about, or that's not. As soon as you say certain things, I decide.
Yeah, because I'm like, so you're dismissing everything I've just looked into and actually researched.
I know this,
and I actually know, and I've seen that. Like, okay, this is a pattern of things. So I don't even waste my time continuing that. But I hate that whole sellout. Like, to me, a lot of that shit holds people back, and I do feel like I see people within our community, and I understand how it comes through. There's a lot of frustration. Don't get me wrong. I totally understand. People are very frustrated.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't knock the people that's like they're gonna sit with both sides and actually because there's a lot of frustration everywhere. But
so then next question.
We also live in America, so you can't blame a country for trying to be an actual country.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean. Like trying to figure something out. So then here's my next question. At what point do we give up on people? Because I'm going to be completely honest with you. 50 Cent said what he said you heard about that with taxes. And he was like how 60% of my taxes,
50 Cent talking for his rich people.
He's talking for his people. I don't know if y'all noticed. 50 not talking black or white. He's talking green.
I took that as a full-blown troll, by the way.
To be honest, that was a troll. I didn't take him seriously. But one thing I will say about what he said is that is the only person that I give an inkling of a respect to in terms of who votes for Trump. The only person that I could possibly...
If you're going to be on that borderline where your taxes going to kill you...
Exactly. Like,
and I'm like, bro, I could understand.
I've gotten some money taken out of my check, and I had that moment where you ever look at your check and go, ooh, bro, what the fuck?
So y'all did half my work. Like basically, like y'all did half my work, my nigga.
I remember sitting in Saks one time going, who folded these fucking jeans?
Sometimes it pays you more to make less.
That's true.
Than to make more.
I literally looked at when you worked in Saks, if you sold, on my floor at that time, if you sold $20,000 worth of merchandise, you got $1,000 in your check, cash. If you sold $20,000. If you sold, let's say now, $30,000, or let's say you sold $40,000. Let's say you went crazy that week. You sold $40,000 for that week, and that's $1,000 for that week. If you sold $40,000, you made like $1,430
in total with that $1,000.
With the
already?
extra $20,000, you made $1,430.
That's where you start slacking off.
You know what they started doing? What they do at that point is they now start taxing you at the rich people rate.
Yeah.
Because that's how much money you're making for that check.
Tax bracket.
Even if that whole year...
You change your tax bracket.
Let's say that whole year, you only made $70K. You're not really rich yet. But that 1 week, you made what was equivalent to an $130K person's amount of money. So they tax you at that rate for that fucking week. My thing was, why not wait till I get to that money cumulatively and then start taxing me at that rate? Then I guess decide to slack off for the rest of the year. But what you're not going to do is start taxing me as I make commission. It was crazy. And I remember looking at my checks like, what reason do I have to work to get to 40 anymore if I know when I get to 20, this is what I'm going to get. Then when I get to 40, I'm going to only get this much. So when 50 says shit like that.
See, the financial conversation, that's a conversation for like, you got to be able to relate to that, to sometimes understand it, And I haven't made that kind of money where it's like, wow, they're really taking like, I made $1 million and they try to take like 470 away from me, like.
and I didn't make that kind of money. I did good, but I did good based on the weeks, and I saw it like in front of my eyes. I'm looking at my stub like, nah, I got to be pussy. That's the only explanation. So I'm reading this like.
But imagine if that's your whole year.
Exactly.
You worked out this year. You grinded your ass off. You made $1 million. I mean, you live in New York and California. California might take 6.
And exactly.
Like,
but my problem.
You might want to check off that.
Like that. I don't know. Take it quick before I change my mind. Take it quick. But it's like, that's my thing. Is like, that's why when 50 said that, I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's trolling.
Yeah.
But even if he's not, that is not the Trump supporter I'm mad at.
Yeah, he's not talking to us.
He's not, exactly.
Yeah,
like, I'm not looking at 50 going, he hates me. I'm looking at 50 going, you love you. And as selfish.
The one bad part about that, though, is there's no context in his post, and people that don't follow will be like, wow, 62% in New York. They're going to no, nigga, you're not going to get taxed that. You don't make no money.
Yeah, nah, bro. And yo, somebody said this, and I want everybody to hear this and hear it fucking loud and clear. Stop voting for the life you want to live.
Oh, yeah, I was talking about that today.
Stop that shit.
People be voting for what they want to
People are voting at the rate, like, if you don't make over 250 to 300K a year,
400 under Sleepy.
If you don't make, let's say 400, if you don't make over 400, there's no reason for you to be with the Republicans, I think it's 300. But let's say it's 300. There's no reason for you to be Republican. Y'all not making enough money. Get there first. Stop hoping.
At least your reason is not a financial
reason. It's not
reason.
It is.
That is not your reason.
No, what I'm saying is, like if you
find another reason.
My thing is, like, with white people, it's like, okay, with certain white people, they're Catholic, and some of them are racist. You know, they're the racist ones, they're the Catholic ones, and they're the ones that, you know, believe in the things they believe in. So they are Republican based on values. Yeah. So
fracking.
Or you're a motherfucking
you're fracker.
You're a fracker, all right? So there's the fracks, right? And then there's the ones that believe in the values, right? And then there's the ones that it's like, it's financial. Yeah. It's like, listen, that's the only one I could kind of get, because I've had my check get sliced before, and I remember how much it hurt and how much I decided, fuck black people for just a second. I was in my head.
It's a little personal. It's a little bit more personal.
Bro, I saw $600 get taken from my check that I felt should not have been taken from my check. You have to understand, $600 out of a $2,000 check, that's a lot.
You should have been figuring out how to make some money on the side, man.
I was hurt, bro.
Fuck them taxes. Like, yo, I got you on that discount, but you got to drop me
right, you know what I mean? $600.
Gotta drop me a little something over there.
I'm looking at niggas like, yo, y'all like, this is rape. Yeah. I should be on me too, because y'all raped my check. Like, this is outrageous. So I'm saying that I can't, those are the only people I understand, but the problem is those people start doing and because of the fact, I would love if y'all would just say money. That's it. Leave me alone. I don't care about nothing else. He says money. I'm like, respect it. Yeah. I can't be, you're selfish. You're selfish. I'll say that. But whatever. I mean, but if you're going to.
You're allowed to be selfish.
You're allowed to be selfish. But what I'm not going to do is have you go, your reason is money, but then you're going to go, well, I mean, you know, the blacks do kind of do this, and, you know, the whites do kind of do that too. And then you start trying to convince, it's like you're trying to convince yourself that he's not wrong so you can feel better about the fact that you're voting for a piece of shit. Yeah. And it's like, guy, just say I'm voting for a piece of shit and I want more money. That's why I respect what 50 Cent is saying to some extent, because it's like, Nick, this is what you want. This is what it is. But
I'm sure 50 Cent don't even vote.
Nah. 50, he's isn't he a felon? I don't even know if he can. I don't even know if he can, to be honest. But I wanted to get into this conversation.
What's up?
And it had to do with 50 and the whole not. When do you give up on people? And I mean this personally. When do you give up on people?
When do you give up on people?
Yes.
When they've given you evidence that to me, I just wait for the evidence that you're no longer for me. My thing is always like growth. Like, how are you growing? And number two is, especially where I'm at right now, is what could you do for me and what can I do? That's how much we be having conversations, and I'm always trying to shoot off like, oh, definitely. I'll be needing that around me, and like, especially where I'm at right now, if I don't feel like things are like, I could shoot off ideas with you and you could shoot some ideas off of me and then grow from there. I'm like, all right, where are things gonna go? Well, and that's a little bit more personal now, but usually just we're in different places right now.
Well, I think when I was younger, I just wanted. I think this is why I give age such a leeway. I always understand where someone's coming from, like in age or in mindset, because the reason I feel like with age and with mindset, it's like, when I was younger, I didn't even consider the things I consider now.
Yeah.
I never even thought about taxes.
Yeah.
I didn't even know how much taxes was getting taken on my check for years. I didn't. I had no idea.
Nah.
Like, I knew
I'm like, hold up. So this isn't what I get paid?
Exactly. I knew I get this much amount of money after a week.
And you knew you got some money back at the end of the year.
And that's it. And then I kept it pushing. I didn't know certain things. I didn't understand certain things. So it's like I feel like I got older. And that's why I look at young people, I'll be like, what age are you? Whenever somebody say, yo, this dumbass nigga did this, I say, well, how old was he? That makes sense. But if they say you did this, certain things just don't matter what age you are. If you out here shooting people, bruh, it don't matter what age you are. But if you a gangster at 29 and you're a gangster at 18, you see the difference. I've met both. And you can see a huge difference. That 29-year-old gangster is just like...
He's usually retired.
He's not, right? He's just like, yo,
nigga or his pension
I'm not shooting nobody till I have to. You know what I mean? He's like, now the block makes me money. That's it.
That nigga living off his Social Security at
That's
that point.
if he gets there. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
And I'm saying like that's...
29 a blessing for him.
It's a blessing for a gangster. Talk to him a lot of... There ain't many 29-year-old OGs.
Word.
They're in jail or they're dead.
Word.
So my thing is, when I look at that, when I look at a person, I go, how old are you? And what is the thing you want, or what are you talking about? Like, and that's really a big thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about? And the biggest one starts from self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot be around people being fake as to who they are.
Yeah.
Or being fake as...
I could agree with
like,
that.
it's like, that's a big one for me. Because I could even fuck with people that will tell me the truth and not change.
Mm-hmm.
I could fuck with people that's like, nah, like, let's say you dating someone you shouldn't be dating. Or let's say you're doing business with someone you don't want to be doing business with. Or you know you have no business doing business with, but they shady. Now, if you look at me and you go, I'm not going to lie, this is probably dumb as hell, but this is what I got, so this is what I'm going to do. I could fuck with that person before I could fuck with the person like, no, this is all right.
Mm-hmm.
This is pretty good. We could do this. This is a thing. Like, why not? That person... That's not my type of person.
That person's letting you know because they let you make that decision at that point when they tell you, like, nah.
They throwing the
I
ball.
could decide, like, I want to continue this or I do not want to continue this.
And I feel like that's what makes me stop with people is when I realize, one, patterns of behavior.
Yeah.
I'm trying to collect data, and that data turns into information.
Yeah.
And that information decides whether I stay around or not. Mm-hmm. It's not that and the other thing is, everybody seems to think that you have beef with people. It just be like,
nah, it's never
not beef. Like, you know, like
you could outgrow people sometimes. That's you should actually. I mean, whether it's people in your life for seasons, everybody is not gonna be in your life forever, and people have to be less offended by that. You know.
Well, you know what? Outgrow. I think. The problem is this. What we're talking about is, I guess, getting woke or becoming more conscious of the things you're doing and the things you're saying. And I think that when you say that you outgrow someone, it's condescending because then that means I'm smaller than you. I'm less mature than you.
I'm not saying you tell that person that I outgrew you.
No,
I'm just saying that, but that's what it is. Like we just not on that same level anymore. And if you're the person that decided to move, maybe you're just a condescending motherfucker. But that's the reality of things.
and the older I've gotten, the more I've realized it's harder to have that conversation. It's easier for me to say it, but it's harder to have that conversation with people because the people that are growing into delusion get more deluded. Yeah. And the people that are growing into, like, I gotta be real, get more woke, I guess, if that's the word we're gonna use. Mm-hmm. They get more woke or they get more aware, and then it's just, and it's not a beat.
I mean, but that conversation usually lets you know if the decision you're making is right.
Okay, so what if you have the opportunity to have that conversation and you don't feel like that person gonna listen? You still gonna have it?
Oh, am I still gonna have it? Me personally?
Yeah.
So there's been times where I've not been faithful in a I've not had faith in a conversation. Mm-hmm. And then I had the conversation and I was like, wow.
This went way better than I thought it was going to go.
I did not expect the conversation to go like this.
Okay.
You know, I was like, fuck, I got to talk to this person again.
Oh, shit.
But after the conversation, I was happy that the conversation happened.
It was like I was writing you off.
But, you know, that's also your decision to make.
Okay.
You could just be done and say, I'm not really
I've never, more times than not, when I gauge how a person's going to take a conversation.
Because you're like, I've seen how you reacted to other things, so I already know how you're gonna react to this.
Data, baby, data.
And I usually go the same way, but
listening.
I've been proven wrong like that. But that's usually right.
That's
It's usually right, but I've been proven wrong.
I'm gonna go with 8 times out of 10. 8 times out of 10 in my experience. If the data says this, the reality is this.
You be like, fuck, I gotta talk. I don't want to talk. My mind's made up already.
You ever had a conversation that you started out, you was ready to like, you knew what you was gonna say, and they just throw something in there that you like, oh shit. I forgot that. Oh damn, the next part.
Nah, you was trying to bullshit your way through that conversation. That's when you try to bullshit your way through a conversation, man.
Oh damn. No, man, I wasn't trying to bullshit there are times when I'm like, I legit, you know what it is?
Nah, if say like I'm told something, like if I say I'm like, yo, this is the reason I'm making my decision, and you tell me something that you say, I'm like, I'll think about what you said. I'll consider what you said, because I only see from my perspective. You know?
And that's
I only see from my perspective. So I also take that into account when I have a conversation like that. There's another perspective
that's the biggest thing I've realized.
And I'm not perfect. Also,
people be like I had an argument with my family recently.
Even though that's hard to believe.
With me having an argument with my family?
No, that I'm not perfect, but continue.
Oh, that you're not perfect?
Yeah.
Obi, you're a Greek god. What are you talking about? You see that beard? That beard been rubbing up on the mic all day, my nigga. Like, it's immaculate. Man, get the fuck out of here. But, yes, but I had an argument with my family, and someone said to me, oh, what I'm saying is facts. It just is, it's facts. I don't speak on things that aren't facts. And I'm like,
actual fact?
And I was like, no, it's perspective, bro. What you're saying is what you think based off your life experiences and the things that have happened to you and how you're intaking the information you see.
Was there actually any facts
involved?
No,
there was no facts involved in this conversation. I'm sitting there like, what you think about what I say and what I said are two very different things. Like, a lot of people don't understand. There is a bittersweet problem with being a really good talker. Because then there's a lot of people that you could always convince people, you could always get people to do what you want to do. And honestly, you could always get people to like you. That's another thing. I'm a very likable guy. But there's another part of it where it's like when you are speaking facts, people think you're bullshitting. And sometimes you can be. But a lot of times I've based my shit off shit I look up. Because when someone says something to me, I always think to myself, do I actually know that?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't. So I could even you'll get caught up sometimes in just the momentum of the conversation. You just start talking, and then you'll realize like, wait a minute, I don't really know what I'm talking about. I've had that happen to me. So then I've learned to dial it back.
Yeah. And you gotta always be comfortable to saying I don't know.
No, exactly.
I don't know. We have to get more comfortable saying
that.
I'm a person. I have a lot of just random ass information. Mad random. You be like, how the fuck do you know that? I don't know.
But I do.
I look up weird shit. I watch weird shit all the time.
Bro.
But I know that. But once again, people will think you're lying because it'll come off like you're just trying to show off that shit. I'm like, actually, that fits in this conversation.
And
until they hear me say, like, they'll talk to me about like something else random, and I'm like, I really don't know.
Well, my thing is, and that's the thing I've realized about how I approach people which has its own issue too. Because I approach people from my approach is I'm a piece of shit. So I have no judgment on you. So anything you say will not make me look at you as the worst person. I'll either say that is bad or that is good. But I would not say you are bad or you are good. I would just say that is bad or that is good. Because I'm the worst from many years of me knowing me.
Be wildin'.
For a minute. I've been listen, guys.
Nigga said I'm the devil.
I've been a fucking dirtbag a long time. I've done the research. I have done the research. And I'm simply saying, because I'm now trying to be better, I cannot now look at other people and go, peasant. No, I gotta know I came from that. So I gotta know I did that. So my thing is, I always come from a perspective of, listen, I know where you're coming from. And then I talk to you from there. But what I do is I'll down myself first so you could feel more comfortable telling me something about you. And then now we're gonna have real open dialogue because it's not a competition. Because I already let you know I don't give a fuck about these things. And I feel like that is an issue that I'm running across, is like, because then that becomes self-loathing if you don't do it right. You can't.
Oh, yeah,
You can't down yourself too much.
You can't. You
can't down yourself too much.
Sometimes people just insecure like in things when they feel like this person knows a little bit too much in something, or people get insecure sometimes. Sometimes people information seekers, so they'll pick your brain more.
Yeah.
One thing I've also learned to do is I try to ask people questions, just so they feel like they're also given some information in the process as well. Plus, I don't know everything. So,
well, that's it. Well, for me, I think of things like this. You see how you try to ask questions? Yeah. I like that. Yeah. I might add that to my repertoire. I'm not gonna lie.
Ask people questions.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna add that. But what I've noticed I do is I don't try to ask people questions. I try to actually understand what they're saying, and then try to repeat it back to them so they could say yes to me. So I can say, "Is this what you're saying?" So I can make sure.
So
and
then
clear. Then we could be clear, and now I could go. Now I'm gonna go forward with what I think about what you just said, because I need to register it, hear it, register it, and then now I need to regurgitate it back to you so we both know we're on the same ground. Yeah. And I feel like that's a thing that's why I feel like when it comes to people that I feel like I'm leaving behind, it's those people that I can't have the conversation with them like that. Yeah. Because I'll start talking to you and I'll know already that you're either not gonna take it the right way, or you're gonna take it. You're going to take it and then you're going to make it something else. Yeah. You're going to jump into other realms. And I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to win anymore, guys.
Conversations are not about winning.
It's not about winning.
It's not about winning.
I used to think it was. And that was the thing, I was so good at winning.
Conversations is not about winning.
I could talk people into fucking circles.
If you win in all conversations, then you ain't leaving with anything.
You're not exactly. So it's like, I don't want to win. Yeah. I just want to understand a little better. And then maybe give you a little something. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
But we out of here?
Yeah, man.
Is that it? That's it? Okay, Mike, man, let us know we out, man.
Smash that like button, subscribe, share with your people.
Listen, guys, everyone that's listening, we appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for listening. It's Common Folk. We out.
We out of here.